It's now time for round 2, Divisional playoffs. I am excited. I mean, holy shit. Round 2 is just full of great games. Seahawks, Falcons, Texans, Patriots, Steelers, Chiefs, Packers, Cowboys. I mean, there's not a bad game amongst that bunch. I can't wait for this weekend. But first, let's recap the first round. Okay?
Let's recap that. I got all the games right.
Yeah, go on. So, going into the first round and just recapping everything, let's talk about first the Giants and Packers. We thought that we both said that was going to be a tough game to pick, and it shouldn't have been.
No. We've kind of already talked about it in our weekly Fury show, but Giants receivers just did not show up, and Packers, Aaron Rodgers came out, man, and tore it up. That Hail Mary, after that Hail Mary, it was over.
How many fucking Hail Marys is this guy going to do in the playoffs? It's ridiculous.
Well, he's had 3 in the last, 2 years?
God damn it.
He had one against Detroit. I think he had one against Cardinals, which they lost that game at least. But it's shocking, dude. Aaron Rodgers is what now the whole meme is Hail Rodgers? Isn't that what they're calling him?
It should be. That's how it should be.
Really
This dude owns it. Packers destroy the Giants. I mean, forget the fucking fact that the Packers have almost no defense. I mean, they're not the worst defense, but a sorry defense.
Yeah,
you thought the Giants were gonna work better against that defense, but they weren't. And forget the fact that the Packers had almost no running game. They don't really have anything to scare you with in the running game. It was Aaron Rodgers, and he torched them. And forget the fact that the Giants had one of the best defenses this year. No, didn't matter. He torched that shit.
Don't forget they lost Jordy Nelson in the first half.
Yeah, they lost Jordy Nelson.
They don't need him.
Who gives a fuck against the Giants? We're going to embarrass them. So, Packers made mincemeat out of the Giants. And, wow. Seahawks and Detroit, man. That went pretty much how I figured it was going to be, right? Nothing really special there. Seahawks.
They had nothing going for them. They were inconsistent with run calling. And it relied all on Matthew Stafford. And we saw,
Detroit Lions were a good story this year. The comeback kids. And, they got to get a running back. Maybe AP goes there. They need to get a legitimate running game going. That will really help.
And they need a defense. I'm just saying.
They need some better defense. So, Jim Caldwell, you got a good team here. You're going to be on the hot seat next year if this team doesn't make the playoffs. Going into Texans and Raiders. This is the only pick that we were different on the first round. You went with the safe pick, the Texans, with the number 1 overall defense.
It's not the safe pick; it's the right pick.
I went with the upset. I picked the Raiders. I figured, why not? Raiders were a good story all year, and the Texans offense, they were just very iffy the whole year. They don't scare me at all. But turns out.
The number 1 defense.
But that wasn't the bigger story, though. Their defense was there, and it did what, Jadeveon Clowney had an interception. Defense was fine. They did exactly what we thought they were going to do. The Texans' offense was the story of that game. They were played fucking damn good. Like, Osweiler all of a sudden looks almost like he's worthy of that contract for that game. And
let's not jump to
Lamar
that, Josh.
Miller.
Look at his stats. If you go look at his stats, he still had on 200 yards passing.
But he was efficient.
He did good.
He didn't turn over the ball like crazy.
Well,
He took
the only reason we think he did
shots.
Great is because compared to what he usually plays that's amazing. So, typically he throws 3 picks and can't complete a pass to save his life.
The overall offensive play calling just seemed more non-conservative, They were taking shots. I mean, Osweiler's throwing it down to Hopkins, Lamar Miller, he's breaking free. They're making some good calls. It just looked different to me, the Texans' offense. And, Raiders, man, it sucks. You guys had a great season. Who knows how much longer you have in your city. Yeah. But, I picked you guys to upset because, that's what I do. And it didn't really matter because either one of these teams is probably not fucking doing shit next. But
You saying that, Josh, the last like 4 years or 5 years, the number one defense has been in the Super Bowl. I just want to throw that out there.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a question I have for you next. Going to round 2. Steelers and Dolphins. That went exactly the way I thought it was going to be. Le'Veon Bell, 160-something yards and touchdown. Antonio Brown finally got his postseason touchdown.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so that went exactly. But here's the thing, though, about that game. They were destroying Dolphins, right? Dolphins and Tom Coughlin. I mean, not Tom Coughlin. Mike Tomlin. He keeps Big Ben in the game late, and it was one of those last few plays, if not the last play, I think it was, where Big Ben got hurt.
It wasn't the last play. It was the second to last, and the only reason it was second to last is because he threw that pick when he got tackled.
Why did Mike Tomlin keep him in the game? Like, why?
I don't know.
Especially you got to question it after the fact that Big Ben gets hurt. You know, I mean, they were destroying them. They should have just took him out. I mean, he was already dealing with injuries this year.
At the end of the day, man, I think that's a little bit on Big Ben because that play, if you look, he's scrambling around like crazy, and then he chunks one up and it gets picked. So at that point, you know you have the game in the bag, and I think you trust your veteran quarterback to know, hey, let's not take any unnecessary hits.
Was that his? So you're saying that he audibled that,
I'm saying that he shouldn't have extended the play like he did.
Because it should have just been a running play, right? Just fuck it, like it should have just been like a running play or like
a running play or
check
get
down.
the ball out of your hands quick, or even if it's going to be incomplete pass, throw it to the ground or throw it out of bounds. But Big Ben doing what Big Ben does, tries to extend the play, running around in the pocket, and of course they'll D linemen just come out of nowhere and hit you.
And then of course after the game,
it is what it is though.
After the game, he was seen in a walking boot. You know, so of course there's concerns about him going into round 2. But,
we'll get into that later. But either way, the Steelers took care of business. Their defense created some turnovers. And that also sucks for the Dolphins, man. Losing Ryan Tannehill, even though Matt Moore did do good through the last few games, it still sucks to see a team without their starting quarterback in the playoffs. So they still did good in a sense. They still kind of hung in there for some of the game. So I give props to the Dolphins there. But I did want to make a note, Josh, that every single game was won by over 10 points. A little disappointing. I think this is the most lopsided wild card that we've seen in a very long time, if not ever.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks, but we have some good second-round matchups.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't spill over into round 2 because we got some good ones. And let's go ahead and jump into round 2. Divisional round. All right? So let's get into Seahawks at Falcons.
This is, I think, it's going to be one of my favorite games. Well, besides the Cowboys, I think Seahawks and Falcons is going to be one of my favorite games.
Okay. Why?
Well, first off, this is a rematch. Well, actually, every game in this round is a rematch from the regular season, which I think is phenomenal. But I think it's great because, first off, I'm not sure if you remember this, but this is that game that had that controversial non-call against Richard Sherman. Is when Matt Ryan threw the ball up to Julio Jones, and he had it when you see Richard Sherman grab his arm and pull him back. No PI called, and they lost the game. And that would have put them right at like the 40-yard line and pretty much right there in field goal range. They only lost by 2 points. Mm-hmm. Big controversy. Huge controversy on that. So I think it's going to be a little revenge game for the Falcons. Great offense. Mm-hmm. It's good to see. It's going to be interesting to see what Matty Ice does in the playoffs. He's had a bad record in the playoffs. And going against Seattle, who has been good in the playoffs, especially with Russell Wilson, it's going to be a great game. I love it. I love Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. And I think, obviously, we already talked about our brackets. I already picked the Falcons to win here.
Yeah.
What do you think? Have you changed your mind? Your bracket's already fucked up, so.
Not really. No, hell no. Falcons, no.
Yeah.
I think this is a great test for the Falcons. They're going up against the best defense left in the NFC, and it's a good challenge for them. And Matt Ryan, I think he's going to perform just the way he has been the whole season.
MVP.
And yeah, exactly. And I'm looking forward to Julio Jones matching up with Richard Sherman. And I think the Falcons are going to take care of business in Atlanta, and they're going to move on to the next round. and because they have the MVP. And it's going to be a great game, though. Offense against number one offense against the number one defense. Not number one defense.
That's going to be the first game of the week.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
I got Falcons moving on.
Good.
Absolutely.
Smart man. Let's go on to the next game, Josh.
All right. Texans at Patriots. Now, I figure, Texans, Raiders, whoever, they're just playing for the right to get their ass whipped by the Patriots. But after seeing the Texans' offense look pretty damn good, and then reminding myself that the Patriots, against great defenses, and especially ones that can put pressure on the quarterback, they've lost to a lot of teams like that in the playoffs. And
you're right.
So what do you think, man? Do you think the Texans even have a shot? The line for this game is ridiculous. I think they got the Patriots by 16 points.
That's 16 points.
That's crazy.
Houston Texans, with the number one defense, still has no chance.
Really?
Reason is because the Patriots still have a good defense too. Yeah, people are forgetting. Tom Brady's played phenomenal this whole year. Ever since he came back. Not the whole year, but ever since he came back from suspension. But that defense has been playing phenomenal. It's been great. And I think that defense, at that point, you look at the offenses, and Patriots have a far better offense. So are they going to be able to put up 30, 40 points on the Texans? Probably not. But I don't think the Texans are going to be able to put up more than 10 points against the Patriots. So I see the Patriots probably winning 17-10. That's my estimation on the score. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, 16 points, but I don't think the Texans are going to be able to score more than 10 points.
I'll tell you this. I think that's a good line to put some money down on in Vegas. Because 16 points? Are you fucking kidding me?
I wish I could. I wish Texas allowed us to bet on it. Shit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I got Patriots winning this game. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Texans have the number one defense, but I'm going with the Patriots. They're a better overall team. Patriots over Texans. Duh. Moving on to Steelers at Chiefs. Man, I think to me this is going to be the best game. To me, this is going to be the number one game. Man, you got talking about offense versus defense.
You got your boys.
You got Big Ben, right? He's coming there. He's limping into the game, just like he used to do back in the day. That's what he does. He's got Antonio Brown. He's got Le'Veon Bell, and they're going up against Marcus Peters in that defense. And damn, it's gonna be a damn good game. And guess what? I'm sticking with my pick, and Steelers are gonna win this. They're gonna go into Arrowhead, and they're walking out with the W. And playing the Patriots in the AFC Championship game.
All right, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. What you got?
So I have to agree with you. This is going to be a great game. The most electric players in the NFL this year are in this game. The top four: Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce. All four of those guys have been phenomenal. Tyreek Hill's been, I don't even know what to say. When I went to the Chiefs game, Josh, when he returned that punt, it was just, he was on another level. He makes people look like they're jogging when he's running by him. And so he's going to be a big factor. The Chiefs finally have some playmakers, consistent playmakers. And I'm going to stick with mine, man. I think the Chiefs are going to win. It's in Arrowhead with that kind of defense. They're getting Justin Houston back. And if Big Ben is a little hobbly, he's not going to be able to escape as much. And I think they're going to sack him at least 3 times, if not more. And I think the Chiefs are going to pull it out because they don't make mistakes. And Big Ben made mistakes last week against Miami. And you cannot do that against the Chiefs because they don't turn over the ball like Miami did last week. So I'm still picking Chiefs.
Well, see, here's the thing. Yeah, they make mistakes because they take chances. Sometimes they take too many chances, right? Yeah. And they got to find that balance. And taking chances against Dolphins when you already had the game wrapped up, that didn't make any sense. But here's my concern about the Chiefs and Andy Reid teams. They play so conservative. Right? And they're going to have to take chances against this potent offense. Will they? I mean, you have Tyreek Hill. You have Travis Kelce.
I'm glad you brought that up, Josh. I'm glad.
Andy
Reid. is one of the best coaches coming off of a bye week. He's one of the best coaches, arguably better than Belichick, coming off of getting an extra week to prepare for a team. Because let's get real here. He already knew that they were going to be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. No offense, Dolphins. But I think Andy Reid already knew, y'all are going to beat the Steelers. Okay? So he's been game planning for these Chiefs or these Steelers for 2 weeks. So there's no better coach out there coming off a bye week, coming off an extra week to prepare for a team than Andy Reid. So I'm glad you brought up that because that just adds to my argument. The Chiefs are going to whoop that ass. And it's still going to be a good game. Either way, I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be awesome to see. But Chiefs are going to pull it out. It's going to be Chiefs, Patriots, AFC Championship.
No, it's not. So, the last game, Packers at Cowboys. The red-hot Aaron Rodgers just absolutely destroy the Giants' defense. Go into whatever they're calling that stadium now. Was it AT&T Stadium? Right. So
his head doesn't bobble that much.
He can throw up that X if he catches the ball this time.
He is. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to throw up the X.
Or he can go 4 for 28 like Odell.
He's not that stupid.
So obviously you got the Cowboys winning, right?
Oh yeah.
You still sticking with your pick?
Oh,
you're not scared of Aaron Rodgers and what he just did to the Giants?
You know what? I already kind of ranted about this, and I ran about this in the video. Y'all should go check it out. The Cowboys are going to win, and I don't like how everybody's picking the Packers. And it's going to be interesting to see what you say about this, Josh. But people are forgetting, okay? There are two things that can shut down a quarterback. A great quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, like Tom Brady, like Peyton Manning, like Drew Brees. There are two things that stops those kind of quarterbacks. First, pass rush. We all see that. Tom Brady has always had problems with pass rush. Okay? Yeah. And Dallas has actually had a pretty good pass rush. These last so many weeks, David Irving's been good. We've had fresh players coming in and out, and now we're getting DeMarcus Lawrence back, who led our team in sacks last year. So I think we got a good chance there. Okay? And there's another thing that hurts great quarterbacks, and that's them sitting on the bench. Dallas is like one of the top two, if not number one, at time of possession. We run the ball, get first downs, and we sustain drives. And that's going to keep our defense off the field and keep them rested and able to run with these receivers. And they don't even have Jordy. So don't tell me the Packers are going to beat us. No fucking way. We are still the number one team in the NFC, and there's a reason for that. Let's not forget it. Cowboys going to win.
So, I picked the Cowboys to win. My bracket.
What? You picked the Cowboys?
Yeah. And, we talked about that. And
well, I thought you were going to change your mind. I'm shocked right now.
And I'm sticking with the Cowboys.
Wow.
But I have a bad feeling. Going to this game kind of reminds me of Super Bowl 50 a little bit. Just a little bit. In the way that I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out, okay, who's going to win this game? Panthers, Denver Broncos. And I'm looking at everything, and everything on paper. Everything says Panthers are going to win this game. Denver has the number one defense, but Panthers had a top 5 defense. Panthers had the number one offense. Denver has no offense. In fact, they put up one of the worst offensive stats in Super Bowl history.
That's very true.
Right. And but one-dimensionally, the Denver Broncos ends up winning that game, dominating that game. And I was rooting for the Broncos, but I put my money on Panthers because everything says that. And I'm feeling kind of the same way here. Everything tells me that the Cowboys are going to win this game. They have the better defense. They have better playmakers on defense. They're getting some players back. Sean Lee is there. He's actually healthy. Holy shit. And like you're saying, but their better defense that they have against the Packers is their offense, keeping Aaron Rodgers off the field. And they can do that because the Packers don't have no scary defense. They have nothing like that. So they can absolutely do that. But I have a feeling that stupid shit's going to happen. And what about Aaron Rodgers? Can he keep the Dallas offense off the field? He can. You saw what he did to the Giants defense. He's capable of doing that. He can reverse that shit. He can keep you guys off the field and put up more points than you guys. He could do that. So everything tells me, everything makes sense, and everything logically tells me the Dallas Cowboys should and will win this game. But the Aaron Rodgers factor and his just like hail fucking Aaron Rodgers-ness tells me that there is that element and it's strong, and they could put up an upset, but I'm picking Cowboys to win this game. And they should win this game.
If they had Jordy Nelson, it'd be probably a better chance, but without Jordy, I don't think they can.
So there goes our picks. I got Patriots and Steelers in the AFC. Sean, you have Chiefs and Patriots, and we both had the Falcons and Cowboys and the NFC. Yep. So that's our round 2 picks, and we'll see how it plays out. I'm looking forward to this week's games matchups.
That'll be great.
And we'll see you guys next week talking about the AFC and NFC championship games.
Yep. Don't forget to like, share, comments. Let us know if you think someone else is going to win. Let us know.
Yes.
We could talk shit about y'all.
Yeah. See what you guys think. Are we wrong? Are we right? What's up? But we'll all find out next week.
I'm going
see
to
you
be
guys.
right.